about that. Well, hello everybody. How are you guys doing tonight? I think the team told us we were coming on to talk to you all about mobile food trucks and things like that, and kind of like how we're shifting some things. I am not sure if we're the right one here, but I guess we're good. So, all right, yeah. If you're listening to us in the comments, there you go. It took a couple seconds for y'all to come in. All right. Let us know in the comments where you're coming from and kind of like what your big question is about what we're chatting about tonight. So,
which is food trucks.
Which is food trucks and mobile. Well, I think just our bakery journey and things like that. We can talk about all of that. I wasn't really told, so maybe y'all can tell us in the comments.
Why are you here?
Why are you here? So we can make sure that
we know why we're here, but why are you here?
All right, so it's been a long day. It's been a long week.
It's only Thursday.
I know, it's only Thursday. And it is still, we've been pretty chilly this week too. It's been just kind of like the last 2 days have been gloomy. We had almost 0.7 inches of rain. So it's been like 2 inches of rain over the last week. So yeah, it's been
which we needed.
Yeah, we absolutely needed the rain. But yeah, so there you go. All right.
Questions somewhere else?
Well, I don't think so. And I'm not seeing what's going on here. So typically like the comments will come in here, but I am not seeing those. There we go. All right. We got one comment. At least we got one comment, folks. That's all we really need to do.
Just need one.
We just need to make sure the system's working. So do you want to talk a little bit about our background with food trucks, why we started that direction?
As opposed to hello to Palmer, Alaska.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess because we did start with.
I mean, we've technically started with the farm on a food truck because we had a bus. That's kind of like a food truck.
It was mobile, and we did do that to avoid regulation.
And then we started renting a kitchen. Well, we had a kitchen here on the farm.
We had our own version of a kitchen.
Our own version of a kitchen, which was operating just fine. Here are the questions.
There we go.
But then we moved the bakery to a rented kitchen, which was about 15 minutes away. And we did that so that we could sell wholesale.
Well, no, we did that because also the city was giving us grief about having the bakery in basically what they call a commercial kitchen in a agricultural building. And so it was going to be all sorts of expenses.
It was the city that was giving us problems. Yes. And then when we got shut down.
Yeah. So the way, because again, the levels in Ohio of a retail food establishment, which our store is 1 through 4, and a level 2 and up has to have a 3-bay sink for your wash, rinse, sanitize. For you to have your 3-bay sink to wash, rinse, sanitize, you have to have a plumbing permit. To have a plumbing permit, you have to have a city permit, and that means you have to have what you're building to a new use code. And when you do a new use code, you have to have energy studies and drawings and ADA
compliant bathrooms.
Yes, yeah. So it's getting real complicated. And we actually had someone that was saying they were going to help us with the drawings, and it just did not happen.
Everybody's not as motivated as you are, which is fine because everyone has a life. It's just you're always going to be your best asset.
Yeah, we were told like, we're get it done real quick, and then like 8 weeks later, we're like, okay, we need to do something else.
Yeah. So the other thing that Michael and I are really always passionate about is new ideas and being able to do as much as we possibly can with as little as possible. Do you think that's fair?
I mean, one aspect we have
a lot of ideas, and so I think we also understand the draw of really good food, and we like to go to places where there are food trucks, and we like to take our kids places, but there's always like just crap usually.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously I think we have ideas we've got 2 food trucks now. We've got different ideas for what we're doing with them, but I think that's the history.
Yeah.
So then what happened is midsummer, we realized this kitchen that we were going to do was going to cost way too much money.
Yeah, it wasn't midsummer. I feel like it was last month. It was
No,
like
it wasn't.
September.
It wasn't, because we got the first truck done in September, around the last bit of September. So we sent the application in the 1st of September, when we bought it in August.
But it took forever because of the festival seasons and stuff.
Yeah. So we bought the first truck in August. There's a little
Which is
short
a trailer. Yeah.
Okay. It was a little short trailer. And that actually, it's and the interesting thing is that every single county can be a little different. Every health department be a little different what they're looking for. And so I can show you pictures of our trailer, but in all honesty, unless you're living in Warren County, Ohio, you need to talk to your person about it, because it can be very different. Like there is a city in Ohio which wants all the electric inside the walls. Doesn't want anything inside any of the there.
Oh, wow.
But what that is Ohio is a state where once you get your food truck licensed in one city, one entity, you can then take that truck through the rest of Ohio. So what a lot of people do is they just avoid getting food truck registered in an area if they don't want to meet that code. For example, did you know that you can have a food truck that doesn't have screens on the windows and be completely fine?
Wow.
Some and this where it came back to us, because we have our food truck and we kind of walk by it, we laugh at how unsanitary it is compared to where we had things before. We had the slushy machine in the store, we had a kitchen with a 3-bay sink, and all of that just worked great.
Hot water.
I mean, the food truck has hot water, cold
water.
No,
I know, but like big sinks for hot water.
Just a lot easier to work with.
It was a lot more temperature controlled. There's a giant window,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, I guess what we're saying is the lack of regulation around food trucks, and this is something we were told a couple times, is that the food trucks are what they call a unicorn. They're like this weird thing that they really don't regulate it too heavily, and you can do a lot of different things with it.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, so what our right now with the food truck, with the big food truck we got, because we have a big food truck and a little food truck. I think we are going to go ahead and get rid of the little food truck, food trailer, because it's just, we don't need that over the winter.
Well, there's no reason to keep 2 at this point. We've got.
Yeah.
We have other financial needs.
Yes, we have things we want to spend money on right now. We need to spend money on. And so for us to,
to just hold on to it doesn't feel like a smart idea.
Well, what we'll do is we would buy another one or build another one for like the season, like the food truck seasons, like summer and that sort of thing. So if we're going to do another one, we'd probably just do a little, concession drink trailer.
Oh, because we've thought about doing that over at the other strawberry field, just so the slushies are all in one spot.
Yeah, because the big food truck we got, which we can go through the 2 trucks here. I'll go ahead and share some pictures and stuff. Is set up for our bakery. So we can definitely put the slushy machine in it. We will during it for the foreseeable future. Although we probably will go ahead and turn it off at some point here in like November. I just don't think it makes sense to bring it over winter. So, I mean, the problem is because when we had the slushy machine in the store,
it was easy to just.
And people would buy slushies all year long. But now that it's outside the store, it's a little bit more challenging.
They buy inside, self-serve outside.
Yeah.
Did you want to answer this question? Did you do it all yourself or did you contract it out?
Oh, so I'm trying to get these
the
pictures up first.
Oh, okay.
So we can show you the first food truck. And I've got pictures here.
It's pretty simple conceptually.
Well, you have to know what you're doing with like plumbing and electric and stuff like that.
Some of these pictures you got on here are amazing.
These are Simon's. This is Simon.
Hysterical.
Well, here's a video. We can do a little video tour of our first one.
Oh, very nice.
Well, I'm going to first show them the picture from the outside because I think we do have a nice picture from the outside here that the crew took the other day, or I took the other day, because someone was asking for a picture. I know I've got a picture someplace. Where is it? Anyway, would you want to keep looking at some questions, see what we got there?
Yeah. We do not. This question from South Carolina, Tim, do you use a PMA for the food truck? We do not.
Yeah. And in fact, we do not do PMAs at this point.
Yeah.
We do not recommend PMAs to anyone at this point.
At this point, we are
very anti-PMA.
Yeah, at the very least, PMA hesitant, but
yes.
Probably more realistically, PMA. No, I think that it can work in some instances, I suppose, but I just.
All right, so this is food truck number 1. And one of the important things is that you have the name of the food truck and the address and a phone number on the outside of the food truck and 3-inch letters. And so you can spend hundreds of dollars on a sign, or you can literally just print it out on paper and tape it all together, which is actually, that's one of the things I still haven't done with our new truck, because we have the inspection tomorrow.
Yeah.
Is print signage outside. So this is what it looks like from the outside.
Mm-hmm.
This is what it looks like as you approach the window. So you can see all the different things inside there. This was our kitchen before. Again, gorgeous space. Got a 3-bay sink.
That sink is amazing.
It's got, nice epoxy floor. But anyway, that
washable walls.
Less food safe, according to the government.
Than this yellow beauty.
Yes. So, all right. So let's go through the yellow beauty right here. We got a little video that we can show people. So this is walking in. And this right here is where employees will store their stuff. Trash can, slushy machine, little tiny butcher block there. All these are different things that the government requires. Space where you are going to put your chemicals down below. Serving window there. Serving counter. Refrigerator. Lights. Stainless steel. Tables. Fun stuff. And the one thing about this food truck is that at one point had a leak. And so literally they were in there making prepared salads with water dripping onto the floor. So again, but according to the government, that's safer than ours. So again, you got your hot water heater, you got your water tank, your drain tank. We have them on the bottom of the thing. So basically if you have fresh water and you have a wastewater or gray water, hand washing sink, then you have your 3-bay sink. So we put the 3-bay sink in here. We redid all the plumbing. We redid some of the electrical on this. So again, you can do it yourself if you're really handy. Knowing what you have to do is important. So I would say before you embark on building your own, you would want to go look at someone who is certified in your area and just talk them through the different aspects of it. There's your heat and cool at the top. So that's your air conditioner, heater up there. So yeah, that's I think this is a 12-foot by 7-foot or something.
Yeah, it's really small. I would never bake. You would never put an oven.
No, but this guy actually, where that table is, we're looking at right there next to the fryer, actually had a 4-foot grill.
Right.
And so he did burgers, he did fries, he did all that kind of stuff, and that actually worked out quite well for him, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, we converted it because we had to make the sinks bigger so that we could wash the slushy bowls. Because the rule of thumb is you have to be able to fit half of the pan or the tray or the container in your bowl so that you can sanitize it properly. A little pump right there. We replaced the pump. The water heater actually was fine. That worked. It's nice and hot. The water's really hot with that. But yeah, so that's kind of the. It's kind of that. I can give you a couple pictures of this. This is the electrical here. So again, just a small mini electrical panel. There are some folks which do some even minier panels than this. They aren't the metal. They're more of a different type of breaker. I think there are other countries they use them more frequently. So this is actually a bigger one because what it really comes down to, in a food truck is that you now start thinking 3D. Typically with the kitchen, you're thinking 2D, but with the food truck, because you're such a small area, you start to think 3D. So here you can see, this is where your drain boards, where you can drain your dishes. And that's looking straight through right there. Another shot right there. And that's our license. I think that's that. Now we can go look at the new food truck.
So this is a converted Centos truck. So it's all contained in
Yes,
one.
this is a big picture right here.
Yeah.
Now we bought this, we got it for a deal because it had a blown motor, and we really do not want to go that many places with it at first. So we were willing to buy a little bit cheaper so that we could get off the ground. But yeah, that's what it looks like from the outside. And then this is what it looks inside. Let's go ahead. Yeah, it still hasn't reloaded all the pictures for me. Which is a pain. There we go. There are the pictures on the inside. All right. So this is what it looks like with the little lights on, which is kind of cute. And again, the thing with food trucks is it's relevant on the branding on your food truck. If you want to take it someplace, again, for us, we really don't need the branding because we're on farm. People are going to just buy the different things. And again, it's really a mobile kitchen because of how we've set this one up at the bakery and all of that. So it's really a mobile kitchen. It's not really a
we're not taking it to festivals
at this yet.
Yeah.
But that is the long-term plan. The long-term plan is to start going to some festivals, pull a food truck over our strawberry field, and when we're over there, doing strawberries, then they can visit this food truck as they walk out. And I think we'll do probably very well with that.
Yeah.
But that's what the outside looked like. Now this is the electrical, so it has a 50 amp big cord there. You can see this one's just hooked up with a regular 20 amp just for running lights. So we're not trying to run the oven. We're not trying to run the two-door cooler in there or the water heater. So this is right as you walk in. So the door's behind me. You got your breaker panel there, your lights. Trash can again, two-door fridge. This is a very large fridge, so it actually kind of takes up more space than we thought it would. But then you can see beyond it your serving window. Serving window here. Hand wash sink. Of course, hand wash sink is important. You got your soap dispenser. You got your towel dispenser. You got your 3-bay sink. And this is a very large 3-bay sink. You have to do a lot of work. Because again, when you're baking sourdough, you've got big pans, big containers, you get your bowls, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Keep going there. This is the other side. So this is again the door you walk in. This is going to be all our our supplies. So flour, oils, all that kind of stuff. This is our Simply Bread oven right here, which is kind of the center of this entire thing. You got your mixer, 20-quart mixer, your hood. We put a hood in. Now, the Simply Bread oven does not need a hood because it's the only thing coming out of it's steam, in all honesty. It's a very, very, very efficient oven. So we were in there today doing walk around, and we realized that we want to move the oven. So we will be moving the oven on this.
We'll just be flipping that.
Yeah, so it's just going to be moving down. But you got this
prep
table there. And back the other way. And then you have your wear rack. So all your containers and trays will drip dry here and be stored over here.
Mm-hmm.
We do have our fire blanket up here. Nice lights across the ceiling. It is very bright in there, so that is very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Fire extinguisher. If you do have open oil, that you have to buy a very expensive, I think it's a type K or something.
So if we had a fryer.
A fryer, yes, you're supposed to have it. So,
yeah,
that's it. And then you can see closed trash cans need to be there. So that's important. But yeah, that's the basics of it. You can see it's all coated with like a stainless steel looking.
Very washable, wipeable.
Yes, yeah. And then again, your floor needs to be cleanable too. Oh, that was the other thing I needed to do. Caulk behind.
So Linda from Northwest Missouri is asking, well, she's been doing everything under cottage law, but have been looking for commercial space, but that doesn't really make sense with cost and her small scale.
Yes. So we ran into that with our bakeries. We were spending $2,700 a month on rent, and it just was not sustainable.
No, it wasn't. But we also are now not doing wholesale.
Correct. Yeah.
So I'm not exactly sure what that would look like to do wholesale out of a food truck.
Well, so from what we understand, we could definitely have the ODA come in, and again, they have specific things they're looking for. The
Mhm.
specific things they're looking for is, being able to wash your dishes. So you have a place to wash dishes.
Pest control.
Yes, pest
Do you
control.
have fly traps?
Yes, those are the kinds of things the wholesale folks are looking for.
At least in Ohio. I don't know exactly what the
So
law
it's a little bit different. But what we've done with some of our products is we've just gone to a third-party co-packer. Is we found someone locally that can pack that for us, and so that just like our fire ciders or things like that has gone to a co-packer. She does a fabulous job for us. We send her product, it comes back as finished bottles with the labels on it, which is amazing.
Makes me cry nearly every time.
So it's really nice to be able to have that, and the professionality of it is kind of moved up substantially.
Oh yeah, it looks legit.
And now we're to the point that if one of you has a farm market, that we can actually ship you wholesale product to put in there.
Mm-hmm.
So we do have we have it in polyface, I think. I don't think we have the new jars in polyface.
Not the new labels, no.
I need they sent her a new product just to kind of get it in there. So,
but as far as baking goes,
yeah,
it
can be done.
It might be a really.
But again,
good
don't
switch.
set it up until you've talked to the right people, because again, you hate to do all this work and then have a problem.
Yeah.
But I mean, in all honesty, our thoughts is that we probably will have a couple different food trucks once we've got the one set up, and because this one is a bakery truck, and we probably don't really want to have it on the road too much. I mean, it has a very heavy oven. It's really built for a bakery.
Yeah, we built it out to be our bakery.
Yeah, so if we want to do one for festivals and stuff, we'll probably build it with like a double fryer, so we can do our tallow fries. Again, you go to these festivals and stuff, and you go to the right ones, you just see the opportunity, and it's a way for us to meet a whole new demographic for our products.
Sure.
So, yes, yeah. So I think we talked to that.
So you have done a lot of the work yourself, and you could absolutely do a food truck yourself.
So for this guy, we had guys come in, and we bought the truck. And they went ahead and finished out the interior, put the lights in, put the coating in, put the floor in, put the hood in.
The sinks.
I did this. I did all this. They did the wiring. They did the plumbing. They did all of this. They did that. Oops, wrong way. They did the window. They did this right here. They did the hand sink. That I did the towels and the soap dispenser, stuff like that. So, but they did.
So it was kind of a combination.
It was a combination. They did, a fair. I really just more moved stuff in.
But depending on what you have access to and what your time frame is and what your budget is.
Yeah, again, they want to see smooth, cleanable walls, so they're going to want it. They really love FRP board. That makes them very happy.
Very happy.
But yeah, I mean, I've seen it inside so many different food trucks at this point that I can tell you exactly how a lot of them build it. In fact, the regulation that comes down from the state, I'm looking at it right here. This is the plan submittal right here, and there is one spot where it talks about employee health, but again, in some of the rule making, they talk about how they want all the wiring hidden. Well, I mean, if you look in this, it's hidden inside this metal conduit, but when you think about it, if you're trying to clean that area is going to be kind of hard to clean because grease is going to wrap up in there. So that's why you need that big giant hood. So that's why I understand why the one area wants all that wiring in the walls instead of on the surface. But they also talked about, hiding all the plumbing below. And I think I have another picture here of the plumbing. Yes, this is a direct line on plumbing, of that plumbing underneath there. And as you can see, this is where you would fill your freshwater tank. These are the drains for your 3-bay sink. This is a what they call a air brake or air gap. Yeah, thank you. Sorry about that. And then you can't see here, but there's also two what do they call it? Man, I am just, my brain is going tonight. And I know it because like I have to, one-way valve. It's basically a one-way valve.
Oh.
But what it basically means the water can't backflow preventer. There we go, backflow preventer. So this one has 2 of them on it. I don't think they really needed 2 backflow preventers, but they got it, so that's what we got. But yeah, so that's kind of like, oh, the other thing that this truck did is they have this little cord right there. That's actually our heater that goes underneath this, so it won't freeze at night.
Oh.
So they keep the water warm if between when you turn the air conditioning on and stuff like that. So yeah, and that's the other thing is like we going into the winter, we know that we're gonna have to have a little heater in there. These trucks technically aren't insulated, so even like a 15-watt heater when it's down to 0 degrees will not keep it warm enough. So we'll have to put
just turn the oven on.
well, yeah, that really wastes energy. You got somebody upstairs. All right, so I'll dive into the comments here, go through some of the questions for you all. So someone's asking, tell us about how your food truck works from farm to delivery. So we really don't go off farm. I mean, we're on farm with all of our product. We have an on farm market, so that's where most of our food goes. So that's kind of it is. We do deliver some stuff through our CSA does do some delivery, but most is sold right on farm. All right. So the slushies, Tim, we for the apple cider slushy, it's just apple cider, a local farm's apple cider, and the strawberry and peach. We have some other flavors as well, so we have some other things as well we're doing with that. Like we could basically make our own mixes. So yeah, it's only like cane sugar and whole ingredients. We're not doing any food dyes or corn syrup or anything like that. Someone is asking from Canada, what is oh yeah, Tim answered that. What vehicle do you use to pull the yellow truck? So it actually, you can use quite a small vehicle. I think you could use like a 4Runner or something like that very easily. We happen to have a 350 Ford, but you do not need a truck that big. I think a 1500 could pull it no problem. Medium-sized SUV. I think I could have pulled it with a RAV4. It might have been maxing out a RAV4, but I think you could do it. Linda, yes, absolutely. So the interior space, again, Linda, needed to have, again, we had to change the entire building from agricultural to commercial. And that that would have made us do some wiring changes. That would have made us do energy audits. We would have had to had stamped commercial drawings done, which was about $10,000 alone. We would have had to have a commercial plumber come in and do something. And then we also would have had to put an ADA compliant bathroom in place. So
that was like the final straw.
That was the final straw. We were like, no, you're a complete idiot, and we're done.
Well, it just, yeah.
Yeah, at that point, we were like, this is not going to work.
No.
So that's where we're like, I think at this point, we just need to. So, I mean, one of the issues is that we are in a very small city, and, the amount of traffic that we do get. I mean, we're growing every single month or every single year in traffic numbers. But in all honesty, when we're looking at where the best investment is, we think that the best investment is to move the farm market closer to where the customers are.
Because it's not the people that live near us.
Less than 10% of our customers
live in this town.
Live in of our best customers, our top 100 customers live in our town. So if we want to go direct to where those people are, that is kind of that's the discussion we're looking at and figuring out at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're not going to be investing a ton of money if we feel like
correct. So yeah, we're not going to go ahead and dump $50,000 more into this when we're kind of just considering all options.
And this is what do you say? True freedom. A food truck What did Michael
Yes.
tell us?
Yeah, the guy that built it for us is like, yeah, food trucks, true freedom. If you don't like where you are, you just fire up that engine and away you go.
Ours won't get us super far at the moment. But
Yes,
anyway.
yes. It has a blown head gasket, so you turn that bad boy on and it's burning some coolant as you go.
You could smell it.
Yes, but again, so you can tow it. But yeah, the food trailer is very small and very mobile and pretty easy to move.
Yeah, you could fit that thing anywhere. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we actually kind of thought of. I mean, we had a lot of ideas for it. Like we thought of like our local football games, taking it down there. They do concessions, but they also have like a Kona ice truck, like and then you also have things like I think a couple weeks they've got a coffee truck. So that'd be a great place to put it. And I don't think anyone really does good fries down there.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, one thing we would really like to do with it is grow our own potatoes and then turn those into fries and then run those to the food truck. Yeah, but I mean the big thing too, like, is obviously we're doing all the bread, we're doing the cookies, we're doing like that kind of thing. But we'd also like to start doing soups on, with all the ingredients from the farm.
Right. Well, because they were very profitable.
Yeah, the soups. When we did the soups really did well.
Yeah, and so we'd also be able to offer sandwiches and any it'd be fun to do really fun like salads in the spring and summer, because you can make some really amazing salads. Put some protein on there.
Yeah, and so the interesting thing about food trucks, while you have a retail food establishment or a kitchen, it's a 1 through 4 rating. In Ohio, for food safety in Ohio, it's either low risk, which is literally if you're selling beef out of a freezer, that's low risk from a truck. And then high risk is everything else. So literally once they approve you, now they look at your menu and they'll want to talk to you about it. But if you change it, you just kind of have to let them know that you're updating it and they may have some questions about what you're doing. But again, in all honesty, it's really not that much of a challenge.
Yeah, no, it's not.
So once we get approved and once we get going, you really can kind of do anything in there that you want.
Oh, baby.
All right. So I think that's all the questions we've had currently, guys. If you guys have more questions, feel free to drop those in here. Yeah. Obviously, being in a food truck is very tight. So that's the biggest thing, is just the amount of space you have. So it does make it a lot more challenging than, the kitchen space.
But as someone who's cooked in a lot of tiny kitchens, just our own tiny kitchens, you can, if you set yourself up well and you think about what you're trying to accomplish, then you really can do a lot in a tiny space. I think the biggest thing with this food truck is just making sure we have all of the equipment that we need in the right spots.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Do we have specific days we're open since we're also farming and baking? There are only so many hours in a day.
Yes. So Michelle, we're at the point now we have a team, wonderful team, and they do different things for us. So we actually literally just hired a new person that will be running the truck for us. And again, they're hired as a baker. They're hired to do some other stuff too. So they'll be the ones making the soups and that sort of thing. So when we're open Tuesday through Saturday at this point. We are probably going to go next year to Monday through Saturday. But like when we're open, the slushy side of the business is our open. But if we're going to do like soup and sandwich or like grilled cheese or something like that, we will probably only do it like Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Or maybe even Friday, Saturday to start off with.
Yeah, I think so.
So that's where we'll kind of start. Now, the nice thing is, compared to like someone who says, I'm just going to start a food truck and have to kind of figure out all the traffic, we already have about 500 visits a week to our farm market. So it's a kind of a built-in audience who are already looking for the kind of food we're offering. But I actually think, and again, this is something why I'm desperately trying to get Brian Bates to text me back about being in our summit. He agreed once, so we just have to confirm that. But the goal is to Brian has used a food truck for 2 or 3 years, and I think because they're a little bit further from town, and so what I think their goal with the food truck is literally to make it an experience, so people are more likely to come.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, if you're just coming out for some food, but if you now add like a sandwich or something, now you make it a lunch thing, and you stay a little bit longer. So like a couple things with the food truck that we want to do is add some animals as well, not in the food truck, close to the food truck. So this year, up until now, we haven't had any on-farm animals, and that was very intentional because we knew we were very busy and didn't have time for it. But a cat showed up, and now the cat is the farm animal, and it always blows our mind. It always blows our mind just how much kids love animals. So, I mean, like there'll be kids that will come hang out for another 15, 20 minutes just to sit there and pet the cat. And so it's just crazy. So we want to add some, some small goats or some piglets or something like that. Ducks. My daughter wants some ducks, so we will be exploring that. But I think that really then creates especially when you add now the food, now it's more of a destination. You're going to come out, you're going to, pick some blackberries, have lunch, shop the store, play on the little playground we got, and, pet the animals, and away you go. Tim, Brian Bates at the Bear Creek Farm has been doing a food truck for a couple of years now. I know there are other farms. Well, in all honesty, I don't know any other farms that are doing a food truck. There's a fair amount of farms that are doing on-farm restaurants or pizza or.
What does Curtis Millsap do?
He does just pizza, and then Adam Blaney does just pizza. So I know Brian does have a food truck, and I know I believe the reason he did that is part of the reason was to be able to get around some of the regulation. But I think he's in the process of doing some major building right now, and I think, from what I understand, the building I think is going to be like a big pavilion with the food. I don't know. He hasn't been very forthcoming with exactly what's going in that space. If you would text me back, Brian. Someone's asking, do we need a special permit to cook food in the truck? So once you have your health license, after that, you don't really have to have anything. But you do have to work with your local health department typically and get a mobile food license is what it's called. It costs us $158. Actually, here's the application right here. $158 plus $3 in convenience fee. And so that is what it is. I mean, they'll come out, they'll walk through the truck with me, they'll check the hot water temperatures, check to make sure that our sanitizer is working, check to make sure we have a vomitus cleanup policy in place, health policy in place, that we have our proper food licenses. But beyond that, that's kind of like pretty much the extent of it. They want to make sure all of our equipment is NSF rated. We have lights in the truck. They want to make sure you can see what you're doing. So, beyond that, it's not there's not too much more than that.
Would she have to come out and re-inspect the fryer if we put that in? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, so because we're not really moving ours around that much, she told me from hers that just next year, before we bring it in to get inspected, send our new changes in, and she will go ahead and just do that updated on our license. Now, if we were going to be doing food events every single week, and because what will happen is a health department official will typically come around to those, and they'll pull your permit, because your permit actually has your outline of how the food truck's laid out in the back, just to check it. So they'll look at your menu, they'll check that, and they'll just make sure that you're doing what you said you were going to. We're in this little bit of a gray area because we're on site, and there's really they're not just going to stop in typically unless there's a complaint or something and check the actual on site. So, because we're a private business on our own property. So that's kind of where, that's a little bit of a gray area that we kind of can get away with a little bit for that. But yeah, if you take it places,
then you're going to run into the fire marshal will come on board and look at, make sure you have the right fire extinguisher and that everything looks right. And in a lot of cases that they know you, they're literally going to walk by. They just want to look in and see that fire extinguisher. You can point to that fire extinguisher and they're good to go. Because again, hot grease gets real crazy when it gets too hot. So yeah, but then in the health department, we'll just check in. He'll look at your temps on your refrigeration. The refrigeration temps are a massive deal for these folks. So they love getting out the thermometers and checking things and making sure it's cold enough. All right, guys, keep these questions coming. I don't have it too much more here to. Yeah, someone says, I think you pretty much answered this, but I live in Warren County as well. For licensing regulations, just the county health district and my local fire department to be aware of. Yeah, so that's pretty much what it's going to be. You're going to reach out to them. Probably Mark, I think, is the guy that typically will send you the mobile food packet. You get the packet. You then go ahead and fill out the packet and send in your layout. They will approve the layout. And that point is when you're supposed to do your build. But again, we've gotten to the point where we know what they're looking for. Our latest food truck builder knew what they wanted. So we'd be able to build it. And
because they're in Warren County too.
Because they're in Warren County too. So and then, but it'll take up to 30 days to get your license packet approved. They have 30 days supposedly. It took them pretty much 30 days.
Yeah.
Like 27 days because I submitted on the 1st.
Oh wow.
And so it took her. Again, this is their very, very, very busy season. So if you were doing it in March, they'd probably be much quicker because right now they have all the Apple festivals, the Renaissance fairs, the pumpkin festivals, the Charm at the Farm, sour. So they're crazy busy right now. So that's why it took so long. But I think the thing for us is what we have found, the more we work with farmers, the more we look at the consumer, what they want. So consumer is looking for convenience. The consumer is looking for, they're busy, so they're trying to make less stops. So they want to be able to get as much in one place as possible. And the consumer wants that convenience. So they don't want to do anything. So us being able to take the food truck and cutting up sweet potatoes and root crops, that's something we're, as soon as we get, something we should be having Maria do every week. We're not. But we will, starting next week. But yeah, once we move the food truck into position and all that, we'll start going ahead and getting all that. So yeah, we do like sweet potato bites. We did root vegetable medleys. During the summer, we do zoodles. We'll do cut fruit as well during the summer as well. So like cut watermelon, like a watermelon that looks a little crazy, or we feel like it's getting too ripe, we'll go ahead and just cut that. And it's amazing that people will pay $4 or $5 for just, basically a cup of fruit. Blows my mind.
But even like people who a whole watermelon would be too much fruit, they
Correct.
Like the quarters or
Yes.
the halves or something.
Yeah. Now this is something we haven't, we've just been asking forgiveness on, but we will shuck corn and put 4 shuck ears in a bag, and that, again, charge $2 more for that. So, so yeah, there's a lot of things that we can do to in that food truck to make it pay for itself. And again, it wasn't an expensive outlay up front. So our new food truck, well, without most of the equipment, because we had the equipment already. Mm-hmm. The truck alone, you're probably looking in the $35,000 range for something like we showed you there, depending on what state it is, what equipment you are looking for to get in it.
But I would say that if we weren't trying to fit all the bakery stuff in there,
mm-hmm.
we could have gotten a much smaller. It could have been smaller.
It could have been smaller, but I would say is that it doesn't hurt to have a big truck like that. You have more
No,
space.
It doesn't. I
Yes.
just mean for financial reasons, if you're just
Yeah.
starting out, you're kind of like, is this going to work?
Well, you could very easily start with a little trailer like
Yeah.
we had. I mean, I think that was not super expensive. It is for sale right now because we are going to be moving it out. That's I think we're looking between like 16 and 17,000 for that. So yeah, it's really not that bad at all.
Oh, we could do soups out of there. We could
You
do
absolutely
all
could have done
kinds of things.
soups. You probably wouldn't be baking bread.
That's what I mean.
Yes.
You could do everything out of there, but not the bakery side.
Correct. The bakery side is pretty challenging just because of it's a lot more involved. Yeah. So Ken, soup will probably be a year-round thing for us. I mean, or at least during the cooler seasons. Like we probably should have started about a month ago, and we'll run it to probably April. I mean, we could start working on some. I mean, we could start doing some summer soups or gazpachos and stuff like that very easily.
Yep.
So I mean, it really is going to come down to too. I mean, I was interviewing. We have this upcoming summit that is on-farm sales, and I was interviewing a woman from Tennessee who does on-farm events. Her husband is a very accomplished chef, and really their system works because he loves to cook, and he has all sorts of ideas around different things. And so that is really what makes their system work. So if you've got someone that is passionate about that, then you can make it work really well. But if you don't want to do anything to do with it, and you're having just to bring people in without the background of that, then you're going to be, I think, not happy. I think both of us are very, very foodie, and we have really clear ideas of exactly what we want. And so it's not going to be very hard for us to put the menu together.
Yeah, we don't necessarily have the time to make it all happen, but we can.
Yeah.
We have the ideas. Because I think we could very easily do grain bowls out of there and stuff.
Yeah. Sunny is asking, Sunnyfield Flower Farm, can the food truck be considered like a commercial kitchen or an in-home inspected kitchen? I believe that you could run it as a commercial kitchen. I don't see any reason why you couldn't. So with the wholesale sales, we don't do any wholesale sales, so you would have to talk to your the health department on that. For wholesale sales, what we well, I don't know. You're gonna have to talk to the health department. That's literally
What's the question?
That's outside of our scope.
Yeah.
Of what we do. We don't do any wholesale sales out of the truck. So we wouldn't know if the sales have to take in the truck or they could take stuff where it is.
Right.
Yeah, you have to get the person on that. Karen's asking, would a food truck be a good option for serving farm to table meals? Absolutely. You could absolutely do all your cooking out of there. Now, a thing is, once you have the food truck, you can also expand it. And they will do outside of the food truck. So they will do open kitchens. And we've seen that definitely as well, too. So on the food truck, that's where your sink is. That's where your stuff is. But then if you want to add a couple fryers outside or your grills and stuff, we definitely see that as well. But you have to have, a specific permit for that, I believe. Tim is asking, do you not have to have a commissary kitchen? In Ohio, they do not make us. And the other aspect is in our truck, we do have a full 3-basin sink with the fresh water and wastewater. So again, we are fully equipped to do all the different things we need to do in that truck. Yeah. And so we had to have, the sink has to be sized so we can fit the bowl, everything in the bowls and wash it properly. But yeah, I mean, that thing is basically, it's a kitchen on wheels. One of the requirements for us is that we move that truck every 40 days. So, and again, we will probably be doing some events. So that will kind of be part of that is, we'll just kind of take it off site to do some events every once in a while.
Not far away, but
yeah, not far away at all.
But we might get a new engine.
Well, that's the goal. So again, the truck is very bare bones right now. The next thing we're going to invest in is like roof, like an RV heater and cool air conditioning for it, so we can keep it at the right temperature. And then the other next thing we're going to do by spring is go ahead and put a new engine in, so we can just drive it anywhere. So yeah, we do not in Ohio. We're not required to have a commissary kitchen.
What's the commissary kitchen?
So a commissary kitchen is a base that you can go back to, and that's where you do your dumping
Oh, I see.
and stuff like that. So
Gotcha.
and like a lot of prep will happen there. So some places require that for prep.
What's the hookup at the farm like?
The oven is 220. Yep, so that is true. We are hooked into water, and we city water. We have city water, so we hook into that. And the water hook in is a food or a sanitary grade hose, and then we do have a on farm pump tank that goes into our sewer. So basically, we'll be draining the waste tank into that. Yeah. So yeah, I mean we've spent some time and effort to kind of get all this set up so it works well, and it's not as convenient because obviously we have to drain the tank and put it into there. But I think we're going to be able to figure out how to make it work. And the winter's not going to be fun, so we will want to go ahead and insulate around the outside to keep everything warm because we do not want to freeze the water in there. That would be a really bad idea.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Thankfully, we don't have long stretches of that crazy cold, but
Correct.
we can get it usually in January.
And the problem is that truck is very tall. So I was thinking, like, could we just put it into the greenhouse? And then one greenhouse was tall enough for it, but the door is not tall enough. So we have to create a specialized door
Bummer.
to run it in. But that would have been a great idea because you put the food truck in there and then put tables around it.
Oh my gosh. Cozy.
I mean, I guess that's nothing preventing us from doing that.
What kind of door would you have to put on?
Just a super tall door.
What would you? Yeah, you just have to. It wouldn't bother the vent.
No.
Which greenhouse would you do it in?
Well, greenhouse 2 is the one that's tall enough.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, we probably should just build a new greenhouse, and it's a plant greenhouse. And then in the wintertime, the food truck just rolls right in.
And then the plants are for sale, and you have like green space.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
Little hammocks, some swings.
That'd be real cool.
It would be.
The problem is that if customers go in that greenhouse, then the city would come after us and say
it's commercial.
It's commercial, and you would have to. Well, the plastic wouldn't meet the burn code, so
you'd have to do like a
polycarbonate.
Yeah. Or glass.
Government loves to shut you down.
They do.
Any way they can. So
this is what happens to us. This is why we were a PMA.
Yes, that's why we were a PMA. Well, folks, I appreciate hanging out with you all tonight. Thanks so much. I think we are going to wrap it up. But yeah, thanks for the great questions. Glad we could share a little bit about kind of our food truck journey, and we will keep you updated as things.
Probably a part 2 by this time next year.
Yes.
Be like, oh, that was a great idea, or wow,
were
we idealistic?
Yes, but yeah, I do have a list of things I need to do before the health inspector shows up tomorrow.
What time's she coming?
3:30.
Oh, okay.
So I got some time.
You do have some time.
Yeah, I need to get some caulking to dry for me. I gotta wait. The sanitizers are coming. That's what I'm waiting. We ran out of sanitizer, so she would love to find out that. But yes.
I wonder if is anyone from Mississippi?
Yes.
Was there people from?
No,
Mississippi?
I don't think so. What we found out, we have an employee that moved to Mississippi and took a job there, and basically
it's a baker in a grocery store.
And basically said, yeah, the health code doesn't exist down here.
Yeah, there's no hand wash sink. She said she has to go to the bathroom before each shift to wash her hands. Nobody has a Serve Safe license, and there's no hand sanitizers, and they just wipe stuff down with Clorox wipes after they get done for the day.
Yeah.
And I was like,
yeah.
Ew.
So Ohio is.
Are people dying? You know what I mean?
No, I mean that doesn't sound like they are. So we don't keep hearing about everyone in Mississippi, keeling over. So, as interesting because
it is special. It sounded special.
Yes, I was at a restaurant supply place today looking for something. And the 2 brothers that run it, they've been doing this for forever. This massive warehouse with all sorts of different things. But what they do is they'll go in and buy restaurants out. And when restaurants go out of there, they'll go and buy them all out. And so they see a lot of restaurants. And this one guy said, yeah, up in Dark County, the lady said to him, we keep it simple around here. And like this one restaurant had no hand wash sink.
Oh, my goodness.
And
which I'm like, what? That's fine. You can just use a sink to wash your hands. I mean, right?
That in all honesty,
I've used the same sink to wash my hands and my dishes for years.
well, what it comes back to is
Also special.
what it comes back to is if you have a home bakery, non-inspected, but cottage law, if you're under cottage law, you're not allowed to use any commercial grade equipment. Once you go in, become a commercial kitchen, you can only use commercial equipment. But their reasoning for only allowing you to use commercial equipment is it's easier to clean and it'll keep you more safe. But if it was all about the safety, then why wouldn't they also make you use it for your home?
Or just say you
could
use it.
Yes.
Not that you have to, but you could.
So it ain't,
like,
guys,
no, you can't.
it ain't about the safety. It's about control.
Yeah.
So, all right. You all have a good night. We'll chat with you later. And keep watching our Facebook page for pictures of bread from the new oven. So
New food truck.
New food truck.
Yeah, the oven's old. Well, not that old, but.
All right, gentlemen and ladies, you have a great night.